So let me ask you this. You know how you look at in baseball, you know, you look at some guys that do well because long-term they're disciplined. So I'm sitting down with Billy Beane. Billy Beane says skill set, mindset, pedigree, upbringing, strong family values. Then you look at a player and say, this may be somebody we may want to invest in. What are things in your world that somebody's got to look at? Because for you, you always say, you know, stay away from the weed. You look like a very disciplined guy, very meticulous. Obviously, even just watching you right now, very detailed. And then you have strong opinions, but it also, you're not a person that sounds like you wing it. You actually give your thought based on doing some research. What would you say are great qualities in your world of somebody to sit down and become good at what you guys do?
Well, I think all the things that you mentioned about Billy Beane are applicable. Not so much pedigree per se. I think that anything that's associated with my pedigree, to me, is about my mom. My mom's work ethic, her willingness to sacrifice, her being the mother of 6 children, and essentially having to raise us on her own. I don't talk a lot about my father, and I'm not about to now, out of respect and deference to my mother. Both of my parents have passed away, but I did not have a close relationship with my father. Part of the reason was because of how he treated my mother. The other part of the reason was because of his treatment to my mother and how it forced her to have to work so much to take care of us. I am a very, very, very old-fashioned dude in certain respects. If you can't do it, you can't do it. But I'm one of those old school, old-fashioned dudes from the standpoint, I believe it's not my preference to take care of my woman. It is my responsibility. It is not just my job to take care of my children. It is an absolute mandate. My philosophy is very, very simple when it comes to my family, particularly, you know, me being a dad. If they're hungry, it's because I'm starving. I don't eat until they eat. I'm not comfortable until they're comfortable. I don't have unless they have. That's the mentality, and that's the mentality that I strictly get from my mother. And so for me, you know, having that kind of mentality, well, what comes with that? What comes with that is a certain work ethic that you have to put forth, and it's a willingness to sacrifice. Am I the most disciplined person in the world? No. Am I the most meticulous person in the world, like some people would believe? No, I'm meticulous enough and I'm disciplined enough, but I also know how to let go and relax or whatever, and sometimes I may not be as disciplined as I should be. But I think the key thing is that the bottom line is everything to me. And whatever the bottom line requires is what I'm going to do. If the bottom line requires an excessive level of discipline, I'm going to do it. If I can slack off a little bit and still achieve that goal, I might pick and choose from time to time to slack off just a little bit.
Yeah.
But to me, it's whatever the moment or the situation demands. And I'm a bottom lines oriented kind of person. I have an assistant. I have people who work for me. I have people who work with me. They'll tell you I'm very bottom line kind of guy. If you tell me that the job is going to get done, and the job is going to get done in an excellent fashion, and it requires 90% effort, I'll let you go with that. I'll let you get away with that. I'm not going to sweat it. But if this requires 100%, and you give me 99, I might want to fire you. Because I'm about getting the job done.
Sure.
It's about the results. And I think that, you know, unfortunately, when we look at our generation today, not enough people preach about that. You know,
why do you think that is?
Because I think that we live in a society where people have become masters at pointing the finger at other people about reasons why things don't get done. I think there's too much explanation that goes on. And, you know, I remember, like, I'm friends with Gayle King. I know Gayle King, Oprah's friend, for a very, very long time. I remember years ago, she and I had this argument because I always accuse stuff like that of being this Oprah-fied world that we live in. And I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion at all. I love me some Oprah Winfrey. She's the queen, and she's a goddess in my eyes for all the things that she's done for various communities throughout this country. But I do believe that generation, led by the likes of an Oprah Winfrey, introduced explanations into everything. We can explain why this happened. There's a reason why this person acted up. There's a reason why they messed up, etc. And I'm like, no, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying some stuff I don't need to know the reason why. If you are a murderer, for example, I don't necessarily need to know the reason why you are one. I understand that to do the due diligence, to put forth the research and what have you, and maybe we can study this psychopath or what have you and find out why they did what they did. But I don't need to understand all the reasons behind why you did something to know that you need to spend the rest of your life in prison, or in some people's eyes, the death penalty. I don't need, if you are somebody that's a heinous individual, that you deserve a level of punishment. I don't need to know all the reasons as to why you made your mistake before I need to know that you're going to pay a price for it. If you are a person that shows up to work and there are a multitude of reasons as to why you can't get the job done, I might be empathetic. But the bottom line is you ain't getting it done. And if you're not getting it done, I need somebody that can get it done. And every boss, every employer that I've ever worked for, while some may appear on the outside more empathetic, more sympathetic than others, where they are similar is the requirement in getting the job done, because they answer the people too. And so when you look at it from that perspective and you have that kind of mentality, I am of the belief that if you truly, truly adopt that belief in your soul, then you walk to work every day not looking for excuses. You're looking for a way for the job to get done. And in most instances, you are going to be successful than not.
Is that a transferable mindset? Meaning, does a person have to be willing to take that mindset to internalize it, or can somebody just say, I don't want to deal with it, even in your world?
They can do both. They can do both. But I will assure you of this. The person that says they don't want to deal with it is not a person that's going to be successful at doing whatever that respective job
Yet you
requires.
believe they can, though.
They can. In most instances, I believe people can, because I don't believe that employers usually put you in a position where they know you will fail, if indeed their objective is success. If I'm a boss, it behooves me to place you in a position where I believe you can succeed, because you'll make me look good. Why would I want to make myself look bad? So I'm going to put you in a position where I think you can perform and you can succeed and you can make both of us look good. But if you don't have that kind of mindset, and you are a boss that has the kind of mindset, it doesn't matter to me what you do. You're a good person. I like you, but I know you're not qualified for this job. Chances are that boss is not going to be successful.